The Global Sumud Flotilla, carrying humanitarian aid and activists, including 10 South African activists, as well as Swedish climate and political campaigner Greta Thunberg, will soon be setting sail for the Gaza Strip. This, of course, in an effort to break Israel's siege on the region and to deliver aid to Palestinians. The South African team includes Mandla Mandela, the grandson of Nelson Mandela, and the South African Jews for Free Palestine's Jared Sachs. The Global Sumud Flotilla is the largest civilian maritime mission organised to break Israel's siege on Gaza. Joining us from Tunis in Tunisia is South African activist Hasina Kathrada. Hasina, good morning, and thanks so much for joining us here on Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina. It's good to be with you.
So first off, just how would you describe this Global Sumud Flotilla, and how does it differ from other flotillas that we have seen, other missions that were staged previously?
So the Global Sumud Flotilla is a humanitarian, non-violent mission. It's made up of other organizations that have come together, like the Freedom Flotilla group, the Maghrib Sumud, and the Global Movement to Gaza. And these organizations came together on this mission. And it was actually, an idea that came about to sail to Gaza in this way, many boats, by Bisan, because you will know that in the past, the Israelis have intercepted the Mandla, the Mandela, and in fact, there have been 5 missions before this, the first one being in 1982. And it was Bisan that said, why not come with many boats, with the idea of you may be able to intercept one and stop one boat, but it's going to be harder to stop a whole fleet of boats.
So how big is this fleet anticipated to be, Hasina?
So there are over 50 boats, and these boats represent delegates from 46 countries. And as you mentioned, South Africa is one of them. We have 10 people on, joining, and Nkosi Mandla Mandela is one of them. We also have one of the youngest participants on the flotilla, and she's from Johannesburg, Nurain Saluji, 22 years old, the same age as Greta Thunberg. There's been a lot of attention. I think the youngest person is 18 years old, and then it's Greta and Nurain at 22 years old. So in total, more than 46 countries, and representing, all the continents. So it's really a huge contingent.
So what are the flotilla's key demands for this particular mission, given the size, the extent of it? What would the demands be as they set sail for the Gaza Strip?
It's mainly to break the siege on Gaza. It's to deliver much-needed aid and medical supplies. And it's a call to world leaders and governments to stop being complicit in this, and to put the world spotlight on what is happening in Gaza. So the organizers have been stressing that while getting aid into Gaza is important, it's international solidarity that's really, really important on this mission. And I think as South Africans, we know this too well, that, during apartheid, it was international solidarity, including solidarity from the people of Palestine, that actually led to the freedom that we enjoy today. So global solidarity, getting the world's eyes on Gaza. And yesterday, when the ships from Spain arrived in Tunis, Greta Thunberg said, quite forcefully that, the media is really, the spotlight is on the flotilla. But why hasn't it been on 64,000 people that have been killed in Gaza, on the thousands that are starving? So, some strong words coming across from Greta yesterday, calling on governments and world leaders not to be complicit, and a basic message saying, show humanity. So it's really, I think, on the beach yesterday, more than 1,000 people, and I think all with this echoing similar sentiments that it's time to come together, it's time to raise awareness. And this has been going on, since the start of the genocide. But I think this mission really is, there's no way you can miss it. That sight at sea, there's no way you can miss it.
So, Hasina, speak to us about exactly how this mission is meant to unfold, because the gathering point is in Tunis, from which the flotilla will set off. But how long do they anticipate it will take before they reach the Gaza Strip? And once they do get there or thereabouts, how will they measure success? What would success look like? Would it be to physically get to Gaza? Would it be having advocacy proclaimed from there and being able to show what is actually happening? What would success look like?
So the first leg of the Sumud Flotilla set off from Spain, from Barcelona, last Sunday. And those boats, there was a terrible storm at sea, so they came back to the port. They left on Sunday, came back to the port on Monday, waited for the storm to subside, and then set out again. They made a stop at a port in Spain just for a technical checkup, and they were supposed to arrive in Tunis on Thursday. But due to the delays, the storm and the technical checkups, they arrived yesterday. And at the same time, yesterday and today, there are boats that are arriving from Sicily as well, and they will all gather in Tunis. Now, during the last 7 days, there have been more than 100 participants that have gathered in Tunis. So they are waiting to get onto their boats, and together they will all leave, or they're expected to leave on Wednesday. So there's been a slight delay, but they're expected to leave on Wednesday, and Tunis is the final stop before they set sail for Gaza. So I think it all depends on, weather factors and, whether there's interception, what happens out at sea. But basically, it's reaching Gaza, I think, is not the ultimate in this mission. It's gaining the world's attention on this, on the people of Palestine. So the Global Sumud Flotilla is very, emphatic about this, that the story here is the people of Gaza. The plight of the people of Gaza. And it has already succeeded in doing that, in putting the world's attention on the people of Gaza. So, setting sail is an act of solidarity. Yes, they want to get aid and medical supplies in much needed, but global solidarity and getting the world's attention on what is really happening to the people of Gaza is the most important.
Hasina, this is, of course, also a rather dangerous mission. People could literally be putting their lives on the line here, because once they enter those Gaza waters, all bets are off. Anything can happen. I would imagine that this is something that has been spoken about.
Absolutely. The risk is high. It's a very inconvenient, uncomfortable journey. It's not an easy journey at sea. I mean, the participants that have come back from Spain to Tunis have, it hasn't been an easy few days for them. And there have been threats from Israel that anyone on this flotilla will be labeled a terrorist. But the overwhelming feeling is that this is a small price to pay for what the Palestinian people are going through on a daily basis. So people are very willing to make that sacrifice and feel that it's really mild in comparison to what people go through every day without food, without water, without access to health, losing family members, losing children. So they feel that, this is really not not a big price to pay.
And as things stand, Hasina, of course, there has been a lot of media attention around this latest flotilla. So surely the authorities over in Israel are expecting this. Has there been any word, any communication, any warnings that have been issued to those who will be participating?
No, not directly, but just the statement that from the police minister in Israel, that this mission and the people on this mission, and especially pointing to Greta Thunberg, that they will be labeled terrorists for undertaking this mission.
And of course, for those who are watching on, looking at this, it's an international solidarity gathering. What can people do, those who perhaps want to lend their voices or support to this mission, who are not able to be part of that flotilla?
Yeah, so this is very much a mission for everyone, and it's not just for people that are on the boat. So the main thing is, to say something and to make voices heard, because together collective voices are louder and to create that visibility. So there is a call for people to join the social movement of civilians across the world that have come together for this mission. People can follow track the progress of the flotilla through the Global Sumud Flotilla website and social pages, and just be able to support the mission in whatever way they can, even if it's, we've received, the support has been overwhelming, especially over the last 2 weeks. The number of emails and, just offers from people, ordinary people from, different parts of the world saying, what can we do? We want to help. So the solidarity is there.
And then, what next after this mission of this Sumud Flotilla? What is the next step? As you said, this is, of course, to focus the world's attention on the plight of the Palestinians. But after this, how are you going to sustain the momentum?
Well, this is just the start. This movement, has been started, and Palestine is the tip of the iceberg. So this movement will tackle any injustice, any discrimination, colonialism, imperialism in any country. Wherever there is a need, that demands global attention, this movement will be there to tackle it and to support it. So it's very much, creating awareness on a global level for any situation where people need the world's attention, where they need global solidarity. The mission will be here. So it's really the beginning of something that I think that's very important for us on an international level.
And just finally, Hasina, will the rest of us be able to track how this flotilla is progressing? Will there be coverage from the flotilla, or how is it going to work? How will the world be kept abreast of what the developments are?
So yes, definitely, Sakina. Firstly, there is, there are tons of journalists that have joined the flotilla, and they are going to be doing live coverage, and so there will be constant updates on what's happening on board. And then secondly, like family members and just people interested in the progress of the flotilla will have access to track the flotilla. So that is a public link that anyone can track the flotilla and see where they are, and then interception as well becomes a public. So whatever happens on the boat is it's for the public stage. So yeah, we going to anticipate that if they are intercepted, that people will have access to see how that actually took place.
Well, thank you so much. Hasina Kathrada, South African activist, speaking to us about the Global Sumud Flotilla's mission to Gaza. And as she says, it's one that you will be able to track live. So they are set to leave the shores of Tunisia on Wednesday. And we'll take it from there following to see how this mission unfolds.